Alright guys, this is going to be a short video about my Heritage Rough Rider 6.5 inch barrel. I bought this used from somebody here locally. It came with this original box, and there is the object of desire itself. The Heritage Rough Rider 6.5 inch barrel. Now, a little bit about this gun. I called the manufacturer and ran the serial numbers and paid attention to the dates on here. And this was manufactured about 13 years ago. Alright, and when I bought it, it was all original parts. Okay. The frame right here used to have a simulated case hardened finish. You know, that colorful bronzy look. But obviously that's worn off years ago apparently. But I still think it looks nice. Now, since it was all original parts in this gun, the first thing I did with it is I took it out and I banned it. My purpose was to get rid of the parts that were about to break in it. So I banned about 4 cylinders and the handspring in it broke. So I got a new handspring and installed it. I'm eventually going to get a new hammer and a new trigger, even though these work fine for now. But, oh, and right here we have the spent casing that came from the manufacturer to prove it has been test fired. Alright. So, let's set that over here to the side. Under here, we have the schematics. You got a parts list. You open it up and it tells you all kinds of stuff in here. Directions, safety, about the 1-year limited warranty, which obviously expired like over a decade ago. But we'll set that to the side. Now, you see 2 cylinders here. This is chambered in 22 long rifle, and the cylinder I have in it, 22 Magnum. Now, this gun is loaded. Alright. Hammer resting on an empty chamber. And what I'm going to do is take the cylinder, pull it back to half cock, or the second click. And I'm going to go ahead and unload her real quick. So hang on 1 second, and I'll be right back. And we're back. I've got all my rounds over here, all 5. It holds 6 in each cylinder. But like I said, I keep the hammer on an empty chamber. Now, this is a single action Army clone, so it's got 4 clicks to it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now, the way you take the cylinder out is you push this little pin right here, and that little rod right there slides right out. Can't do this while holding the camera, so hang on a second. So I've got the rod out, okay, and as long as this hammer is in half cock position, this cylinder will come right out. So there's the cylinder. Alright. Now, as you can see, this little cylinder stop here. 1, click. 2, it disappears. 3, it comes back up, but the hammer does not stay back. However, the cylinder still stops. Now, and then you got the 4th click. And the trigger brake is nothing. Watch. See? No take up at all, just as soon as you pull it, as with most single actions. And over here you'll notice we have a little safety on it as well. You just kind of flip that up with your thumb and flip it down. A little clumsy for me to use because I shoot with my left hand, and so I keep it off and just carry it on an empty chamber. And since I got it, I painted the front sight with some of my wife's nail polish. I don't know if you can pick that up or not. Let's try it over here. There we go. A lot easier to pick up. So, like I said, I'm getting a new hammer and a new trigger port, and I'm hoping that fixes that third click problem I got. But she still works fine. Now, oh, and that safety, if you look right here, if you watch right in here, you'll see a little bar come up when I flip that up, okay? See that bar? Stops the hammer from hitting the firing pin when the trigger's pulled. See how it doesn't go all the way down? So, we'll go ahead and flick that back down real quick. Pretty sturdy gun. You can do pretty much anything you want to it, and it just will not break. I think it's a beautiful piece. About the only thing on this thing that could probably break, or chip rather, would be the grip, the wood grip. But other than that, yeah, it's a nice piece. And you can tell on the cylinder though, it's got some damage to it. Don't know if you can pick up a lot of that on camera, but especially right here. Whoever owned it before me obviously didn't know how to handle a single action. So, yeah, it's a really fun gun to shoot. Shoots flawlessly, and it's really accurate. I am in love with this thing. Absolutely. Heritage Rough Rider, 13 years old, 6.5-inch barrel. And I keep it right here in my holster. I carry it with me every day. Quick thing to point out is it's really easy to take apart. I've done taking it apart so many times, it's retarded. And therefore it's really easy to work on. And the parts for it are super cheap. Like you can get extra cylinders for probably like 30 bucks or less. Some are a little more, but most of them are around $30. You got like all kinds of different grips around $30. You can get triggers, hammers, springs, pins, pretty much whatever you need to work on this gun. So that was it. That's my review and my look into the Heritage Rough Rider. Technically speaking, 13 years later, still works like a charm. Until next time, guys, be safe and stay blessed.